Okay. So, the pig brain. They have, what was it? They have sort of not reanimated. What's the word? Well, let's call it that for the time being. There is a pig brain that they restored functions to. Not complete function. It was able to intake oxygen and out and it expressed carbon dioxide. It was engaging the immune system in engaging in the releasing of immune system responses. It was restoring oxygen to some of the tissue, because you know when your brain is dying, it draws in oxygen from other parts of the brain. And it was restoring oxygen. So it was somewhat repairing itself. And I remember reading another story on how they attached a man's hand or a hand to someone that was 60% functional, like ligaments, and they attached it like Frankenstein. So what are we looking at here? Because they are changing the meaning of death. Because the meaning of death has been evolving. Because you can be brain dead, but your heart's still beating. Your heart can have stopped, but your brain is still sending out, electromagnetic charges. So you're not brain dead. So, death. Will the meaning completely change? Will people be able to be brought back to life, brain and heart, eventually? Judgment. Now, how fitting. The judgment card in the tarot is literally something that says that in which was dead is brought back to life. See, all the dead mermaids are now sort of emerging from those bubbles after the person called the trumpet. Now, this is usually, calling, like the rapture, like calling them to a spiritual place, but bringing them back to life. But this is just the context of what we're talking about, not necessarily what's going to happen. But if that's not an omen, I don't know what is. King of Wands. King of Wands is a card of action. Not necessarily always a person, but it can be an action. Like something strong and leadership type action. Temperance. Balanced emotions, compromise, reconciliation. The High Priestess. The Intuit. Seven of Swords. There's the strategy. So a joining effort. Strategy here and strategy there. Banding together, coming together to pull something off, which is how this pig brain thing was done. It was a team of scientists that done this. Okay. Two of Wands. So the Intuit and the plans. Everything around the Judgment card is basically just supporting it. Here's the Judgment card, the Rebirth card. It's even called rebirth. I believe in the Spellcaster's Tarot, it's called rebirth or something like that. There's the authority, the person in action, the person in charge. Here is the strategy, the banding together for a common purpose, for a common goal. The intuit and the making plans, the people who with the know-how and the people who with the do-how. So we have the rebirthing around. This is a slow process, naturally, because it just is, but we are taking steps right now into the resurrection of humankind. Now, that does not mean that a person is the same once they are sort of brought back from the death, but who knows? We don't control those things. The Eight of Cups, this is your fear, is that this project will lead to nothing and you will be forced to abandon. Now, if you ask me, the fear in this would be your spirit leaves your body and your body is just a shell. That your spirit walks off. You know, the moon does symbolize the spiritual world, very deep connection with it. Your spirit walks off and then you're kind of left as a shell. It's just something vacant, a zombie, if you will. And your hopes, the Three of Swords. Now that's interesting. We definitely got to get another word on that one. Three of Swords for the hopes. Okay. I wonder if this is their, mind you, like I said, separation is not always, this is a separation card. It's not always, you know, we broke up and now we're separate. It just could mean distance. But this is also my card for heart and blood issues. Issues with the blood and issues with the heart. That's the next thing they need to do, is figure out how to get the heart to respond once again. Because a beached whale is more than likely dead. How to get it back to life. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. So the environment. King of Swords. There's your law, there's your legal. Everything right now is as it should be. Queen of Cups, there's your compassion. So everything is square. There's no pigs were harmed in the filming of this movie. So we right now we're good, is basically what that's saying. A word of warning. The Ace of Swords. This is going to be a hard road. This is your victory card. Also warning you that everything that glitters ain't gold. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But we shall see, because this is also something logical. The educational process, triumph and victory, clarity. So, you know, just beware is all. Beware. Beware, be clear. Four of Swords, your word of solace. It's your card of rest, relaxation, reset, focus, because you have a goal in mind. So just some deep meditation and some focus, you know, you got a project to work on here. Your outcome, the Tower. That's my no card. Will you be able to just resurrect a human being? I think not. But it is hopeful.